जय श्री माता जी। श्री माता जी को हम प्रणाम करेंगे और बंधन लेंगे। तीन महामंत्र और उसके पश्चात श्री गणेश मंत्र। संतुलन करेंगे। लेफ्ट हैंड स्क्रीन के सामने रखना है और राइट हैंड को जमीन की ओर। श्री गणेश जी को स्मरण करके हम श्री माता जी से प्रार्थना करेंगे। श्री माता जी, आप कृपा करके हमारे ईड़ा नाड़ी के सभी अशुद्ध इच्छाएं या कंडीशनिंग और बाधाओं को पूर्ण रूप से इस पृथ्वी तत्व में विलीन कीजिए। निधान नाड़ी को पूर्ण रूप से निर्मल बनाइए। दोनों हाथ सामने रखेंगे, लेफ्ट हैंड आकाश की ओर। यहाँ हम श्री माता जी से प्रार्थना करेंगे, चित्त अपना तालू पे रख के। श्री माता जी, आप कृपा करके हमारे राइट साइड की अतिरिक्त उष्णता और अहंकार को पूर्ण रूप से आकाश तत्व में विलीन कीजिए। हमारी पिंगला नाड़ी को श्री माता जी निर्मल बनाइए। दोनों हाथ सामने रखेंगे, पूर्ण रूप से अटेंशन अब तालू पे सहस्त्रार पे रखेंगे। श्री माता जी, आप कृपा करके हमें निर्विचारता में प्रस्थापित कीजिए, हमारे अंदर के सेल्फलाइजेशन को एस्टैब्लिश कीजिए। इसी ध्यानस्थ अवस्था में हम श्री माता जी की अमृतवाणी सुनेंगे।
So, this Kundalini, when it arrives here, the first hurdle the Kundalini has to enter into Sahasrara is Ekadasha Rudra, is here. There are 11 Rudra Shaktis, 11 destroyed Shaktis placed here. 5 on this side, 5 on the other side, and 1 in the center. These are obstruction within us built by two kinds of sins we commit. If we bow our head to wrong type of gurus and submit ourselves to their vicious ways, then we develop Rudra Rudra problems on the left hand side, these 5 go out. If you have, I think it's the other way now. If you have bowed, because I have never bowed to anybody wrong, so I don't know what to say. The mistake comes from there. If you bow to someone who is a wrong type of a person and who is anti-God, then the problem comes on this side of the thing, on the right side. If you have the sense that I can look after myself, I am my own guru, who can teach me, I don't want to listen to anybody, and I don't believe in God, who is God, I just don't care for God. All such feeling, if you have, then your right side doesn't catch, but the left side catches. Because right side moves this side and the left side this side. So these 10 things, and one is Virata Vishnu, because also in the stomach we have got 10 Guru Sthanas and one that of Vishnu. So the seeking is also wrong, as well as these 10 Gurus are there. Then you develop this Ekadasha Rupa. When this thing is set in within you, as I said, one on this side, one on that side. So those people who are bowed to wrong type of people develop a temperament or a kind of a personality which is very vulnerable for incurable diseases like cancer and all that. You may develop cancer or any such disease. Those who are bowed to wrong type of people. Now those who think I am better than anybody else, I don't care for God, I don't want God, I have nothing to do, all such people develop the left side Ekadasha. And left side Ekadasha is extremely dangerous too, because such people develop the problems of the right side, heart attacks, physically I am saying, and all other problems of the right side. So one of the greatest hurdles of Kundalini entering into Sahasrara is this Ekadasha Rupa, which comes from void. And which covers the Medha, is the plate of the brain. And that is how it cannot enter into the limbic area. Even those who have been to wrong gurus, if they have reached right conclusion and surrendered themselves to Sahaja, accepting their mistakes and saying that I am my own guru, they can be cured. And those who have been thinking that I am above all, I don't believe in God, who is God, I don't believe in any prophets or anything against God or prophets is the same. Anti-God personality who talks like that, who develops the problems, gets alright if he humbles down himself and accepts Sahaja is the only way of service. of entering into the super consciousness. I have seen people who have been tantrikas are being saved. I have seen people who have done all kinds of wrong things have been saved. Those people who were members of very funny, strange organizations have been saved. But it is very difficult to convince anyone that whatever they are doing has been wrong and they should come to right path. So, a star came to play its part called Pluto. And this star is the one which has brought cancer disease, because Pluto is the one that cures cancer or all such diseases which are incurable. So those people who just go headlong into wrong paths suffer from funny type of heart troubles, palpitations, insomnia, vomitings, giddiness, all sorts of, we can say, irrelevant talking. It is a very serious thing to go to a wrong guru and bow to him. Sahasrara becomes a closed area for such a person. The persons who are against Sahaja Yoga have a very strong Sahasrara, like a nut, in the sense that it's such a strong shell that you cannot just break it. It's a strong shell, like a thick nut. Even if you want to use a hammer, you cannot break it. Today, the time has come that you have to recognize Sahaja. You have to. You did not recognize any saints, any prophets, anyone, any incarnations. But today the condition is that you have to recognize. If you do not recognize it, your Sahasrara cannot be opened, because this is the time when the Sahasrara was opened and you have to have your realization. So it's a very important thing that you have to recognize Sahaja Yoga. There are many people who say that, Mother, why to believe in Sahaja Yoga this way? We can just call you just Mother, you could be my mother. See? Alright, doesn't matter. But you can't get your realization. And even if you get it, you cannot retain it. So you have to recognize. Recognition is the only worship of Sahaja. Recognition is the only worship when you want to know God in Sahaja. All the other ganas, devatas, deities, shaktis are one in unison in Sahaja. And anyone who does not recognize Sahaja Yoga, they just are not bothered about you, what sort of a person you are. For example, a man who worships Shiva, he comes to me and I find his heart is catching. Surprising. He says, Mother, I worship Shiva. How is it my heart is catching? I said, you have to recognize Sahaja. Just ask Shiva. And when he asks the questions to Shiva, then only the vibrations start flowing. So, Sahasrara takes charge that it makes you recognize, and also it convinces you to prove it. And by this proving, even if you are not recognizing, then you cannot get your realization. But those who recognize also recognize partly. They take liberties, they behave in a funny manner without understanding that who is this person who is here. I have seen many a times, I am talking, people are just putting their hands up, Kundalini, so they are just talking, chit-chatting. I am surprised, because if you have recognized, then you should know whom you are facing. Because it's not for my good, I am not going to lose anything. But only you in your ascent have not recognized. That shows that you have not yet recognized. And the way some people try to monopolize me also is absolutely wrong. There is no need to monopolize me. Nobody can monopolize. There are some people who say that mother must have misunderstood. I never misunderstand. There is no question. Or some people try to tell me do this, do that. That also not necessary. Try to open yourself to this protocol, which is very important in Sahaja Yoga, which I have told for the first time today. That you must try to recognize in a full way. And if you do not recognize, I am sorry, I can't give you the realization which will sustain. It will start, but it may not sustain. So this is the simplest way of achieving your higher things, is by recognizing gradually and recognizing gradually. It is very difficult to tell anybody if something is wrong with that person. It's impossible. After Sahaja Yoga, I can tell you this chakra is catching, that chakra is catching. But also because you know what does that chakra means, you can come back on me, no mother, you see it's not so, I am not. That's not so. Why should I tell you you are catching? You have to cleanse yourself with full honesty. But first thing is to recognize with full humility and understand. Once you have recognized, gradually you will do everything that has to be done. You will know what is to be done. Now the essence of Sahasrara is integration. In Sahasrara, all the chakras are there, so all the deities get integrated. And you can feel their integration. That means when you get your Kundalini in Sahasrara, your mental, emotional, and your spiritual, everything being becomes one. Your physical being also merges into it. Then you have no problem as to, yes, I love mother, but I'm sorry, I have to steal this money. Yes, I know, I recognize mother. Yes, I know she's great, but I can't help it. I have to tell her lies. Or I have to do this wrong thing because after all, I can't help it. There is no compromise with me. It has to be completely integrated. Your dharma should be corrected. You cannot do anything wrong and then say I am a Sahaja Yogi. You cannot. But for this, the strength comes from within. Your spirit strengthens you. You must just put in your willpower that yes, let my spirit act. And then you start acting according to the spirit. Once you start acting according to the spirit, you find you have no slavery of anything. You become samarth, means equal to your meanings. Samartha, also samarth means powerful personality. So you develop that powerful personality which has no temptations, which has no wrong ideas, which has no catches, no problems. But people who are sneaky, sly, try play some tricks, are really harming themselves, not Sahaja Yoga. Sahaja Yoga is going to be, it has been and will be, is going to be established. Even if there are 10 people in the boat, God is not bothered. It's only my botheration as a mother. As a mother, I want many people to come up in the boat. But don't try to jump back by doing all dishonest things. So this is what it is simple, that you are integrated. By integration, you get the power to do what you understand, and you have power to feel happy with what you understand. So you come to a stage where you develop this niranand, and this niranand you develop when you are absolutely the spirit. In nirananda state, there is no duality left. It's Advaita. It's one personality. That is, you are completely integrated, and the joy is not anymore dented. It's complete. It hasn't got a happiness and a sorrow aspect, but it's just joy. The joy is not that you laugh loud. The joy is not that you're always smiling. No. It's the stillness, the quietude within yourself, the peace of your being, of your spirit, that asserts itself into vibrations. You feel that when you feel that peace, you feel like light of the sun, the whole rays of that beauty spreading. But first of all, we are cowed down by our own personal, selfish, stupid ideas. Throw them away. We have them because we are insecure, because we have wrong ideas. Throw them away. Just stand alone, one with God, and you will find all these fears were useless. Our cleansing is very important, and that cleansing comes only when you really practice the cleansing as told in Sahaja. The Sahasrara is the blessing of the heavens, I should say. It has worked out so well. It's very difficult to break the Sahasrara. And when I really broke it, I didn't know that it would be that successful. First I thought it's still premature, because there are many Rakshasas still on the street selling their goods. And there are many fanatics who are calling themselves by the so-called religions they are following. Not the real religion of the Atma. But gradually it has taken its roots. Now let this truth take its root within yourself through your Sahasrara. And once this truth becomes absolutely the light that guides you, the light that nourishes you, the light that enlightens you and gives you a personality that has the light, then only you should know that your Sahasrara is completely enlightened by your spirit. Your face should be such that people should know that there's a personality who is standing before you who is light. This is how Sahasrara is to be looked after. For looking after Sahasrara, it is important that you should try to cover your head during winter time. It's better to cover your head during winter time so that there is no freezing in the brain, because brain is also made of Meda. means facts. So it should not be frozen. Moreover, you should not take too much heat on your brain. To keep your brain alright, you should not sit in the sun all the time, as some of the Westerners do. Then your brain melts and you become a crazy person. Is a sign that a person is going out for madness. Is something which I have told many a times, that don't take too much heat on your head. Even if you are sitting in the sun, keep your head covered. Covering of the head is very important, but the covering of the head should be done occasionally, not all the time, because if you just put a very heavy band around your head, then the circulation becomes poor and you may have trouble with bad circulation. So, it is an occasional opening of the head to the sun and to the moon, occasional. Otherwise you will sit in the moon and land up in the lunatic asylum. Anything I tell you, you must know that in Sahaja Yoga we have not to go to anything ati. Even sitting in the water, some people will sit for 3 hours. I never said so. Only for 10 minutes you have to sit, but with full heart. If I tell them anything, they'll go on doing it for 4 hours. There's no need. Do it for 10 hours. Give your body different types of treatments. Not all the time the same thing. The body gets bored or gets absolutely overburdened. Now if you tell somebody this is your mantra, alright, it is to be used till you get rid of your chakras, finished. Now some screw is to be put here, alright. Now what you do, you put the screw till it fixes. You do not go on, even when it is fixed, are you going to screw it more and more? So that the whole thing gets spoiled. It's better that you use wisdom. And for this wisdom, we must know that it is Sri Ganesha or Jesus Christ who are placed on both the sides. Here is Mahaganesha, here is Jesus Christ. Both of them help you to correct your vision, understanding, and give you wisdom. So the wisdom lies not in sticking on to something. Sahaja yogis are not stuck up people. If they are stuck up, they are not progressing. You are not to get stuck up with ideas and stuck up with things. You have to be all the time moving. And in movement, it doesn't mean that you should fall from somewhere and people think, oh, we are earning such a lot because we are falling down. You have to ascend in your movement, not to fall. So when you are achieving something in Sahaja Yoga, first of all, you should see your health should be alright. Your mind should be normal. You should be a normal person. If you are still barking at people, then know that there's something wrong with you. Or if you are still sulking and still tantrumish, and if you are still in a bad mood, then think you are not yet a Sahaja Yogi. You can judge yourself. If you are free like a bird, then it's alright. But that doesn't mean on the road you start singing like a bird and jumping on a tree. You see, any analogy I give to a stupid man, he can behave in a very stupid way. But to a wise man, he discreetly uses it for a proper purpose. So one has to understand Sahaja Yoga is known by the discretion person has. Now what happens actually, that you get stuck with one thing, that is your Atma, and the whole your being floats like a patanga does, or a kite that floats. Goes all over the places, everything, but you are stuck to one thing, that is your spirit. And if you could really do it genuinely and honestly, Not worry too much about your money and your families and other mundane things. Just don't worry about anything. You don't have to worry. Just give it a month. If it doesn't work out, doesn't work out, finished. What's that wrong? If it works out, well and good. Not that your desire is important, but thy will be done. First you say thy will be done, then it is so surprising that your wills change, your desires change, and whatever you say is done. But when this also comes up, people develop an ego. So be careful. It is all done by the Shakti and not by you. By your Atma and not by you. You have to be the Atma, and once you become the Atma, you become into akarma, where you don't know that you are doing it, just works out. You don't feel, you are not aware. I wish, after all these lectures, most of your chakras must have been open. But this is all my work. You have to also do some homework. And you have to also work and see for yourself, be alert. Try to face yourself in the mirror and see for yourself how far honest you have become, how far clean have you become, how far friendly you are in collectivity, which is a very important point in Sahaja Yoga. If you are not collective, if you are funny, if you are strange, if you cannot communicate with others, then something wrong. And then you should face yourself as you are and try to correct it. Because you separate yourself from yourself, like I separate my sari from myself and try to clean it. In the same way, you separate yourself from yourself and try to clean it. This is the way Sahajogis are going to ascend. When the Sahajogis will ascend, the rest of the things also will ascend. Many Sahajogis of this kind will impress so many people that they will also ascend. So the whole thing can ascend very fast. But you people who are rising higher should try to rise higher and higher without being aware of it. That's very important. Those who think that others are higher than them are also sadly mistaken, because that's not so. It's the whole that's rising. Nobody should feel that way inferior or in any way low or feel insulted that somebody thinks me low. Let somebody think, what does it matter? Divine doesn't think so. So all these little things you should be careful about, and otherwise it's very easy in this Krita Yuga to achieve the ultimate goal of Atma Sakshatkara.
थैंक यू श्री माता जी। श्री माता जी को प्रणाम करेगी और वंदन लेगी।